to bring in our guest for the day, Salem head coach Kacey Costal, coming on, joining us on Running Point. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And we've been talking volleyball all day. This is the start of our volleyball preview, and we're in Division I. You guys will be previewed the next day in Division II. But talk about some of the things that you've been doing this summer and some of the things that you're returning and some of the things that to look forward to in Salem Volleyball.
Yeah, we're really excited for this season, especially coming back from COVID. And I mean, we're still in that pandemic, but a lot of those restrictions have been lifted. So we got to do our summer league. So we got to play in June with like 4 or 5 different teams, like Crestview, Western Reserve, Boardman. So that was a really good experience for us. We were able to have Youngstown State come in and help us prepare for our season. And we went to an all-day play camp with them as well. And then we've been doing a couple of scrimmages here and there. So it just feels like we've had so much more on our schedule this summer, so much more to prepare us. So we're really excited about that.
Now you are losing 5 seniors, including Kaylee Davis, who might be one of the biggest people to replace. But you're returning your setters, and that's got to be so important to you. Talk about the people you're returning and some of the leaders that you're going to lean on this year.
Oh yeah, we have 7 seniors this year. So even though we lost 5, we have 7 coming up. So that's really helps us out, and especially having our setters still. They're always big voices for us on the court. And all 7 seniors I think they're all leaders. They all use their voices really well. So we're really excited to have them. But it will be sad to lose them after this year.
Talk to me about some members on your coaching staff that help you out through this process, Coach, and some names too that really just helped you out getting these young girls and these girls that are now seniors to where they are now.
Yeah, so my assistant and JV coach is Rebecca Soliday, and we've known each other our whole life. She's actually my neighbor. We went to elementary school together, and she was a junior high coach before coming to coach with me, and I was new to this. This is only my second year coaching. So her experience and her knowledge helped me incredibly much. And we love planning practices together. We just have a really good dynamic together. We work well. We both have a similar type of coaching style. So it's really nice to have her on board and always next to me on that bench. And then we have our freshman coach, and she is also an assistant for varsity, Candy Kekik. And she's been there for a while. She's coached for a while. I think she's been at Salem now like 4 years. So she has experience with Salem. And then before that, she's been a varsity coach. She's been a JV coach. So her knowledge is great. And it's nice to have someone experienced and knows their way around drills and the gym. It helps us a lot.
Like you said, second year of the job. What kind of things did you learn last year that you're bringing into this year that make you a better coach and you think is going to make this a better program?
Oh, I think I learned a lot last year that time is really important, especially due to that pandemic. Like, we were limited with time, so much of what we could do. And we started late, it felt. We didn't have as many game plays, not as many scrimmages. So time is so vital to us and our season this year. So as much as we can be in the gym, we're in the gym. As much as we can be playing, we're taking those opportunities this summer.
I mean, to kind of highlight and go off of the whole COVID year, I mean, first year coaching and COVID happens and you see a year unlike any other year before for any other coach. Talk to me a little bit about going into this year, the excitement you have for not only yourself, but also the girls in the community to have volleyball kind of be back to normal.
Yeah, I am beyond excited to have it almost be back to normal. I mean, the crowd is such a vital part of the game. So to be able to have almost everyone back in the stands, it will tremendously help us, not only to get the girls more excited, but to just rev up the competition. And I think it'll help us incredibly. I'm excited about that.
You played for Salem yourself. What's it like, and how much pride do you take in coaching the program that you were under and being able to bring it to the success that you got to see as a player?
Oh, I love it. I'm so excited to be back. I feel so lucky to be back. It's crazy. I never saw myself in this position. It is hard sometimes being on the sidelines. I still wish I could be in there, but it's really cool to see them progress. And even just from last year, and this is only my second year, it's cool to see those relationships that you make with them and they make with each other, and how much progress and development they make in such little time.
Talk to me a little bit about the relationships you are building with your players too, and how the dynamic is a little bit different being in the shoes of a coach rather than the shoes of a player building relationships with a team.
Yeah, it is. It is weird. It's something to get used to because you're not best friends with anyone on the team anymore as you were as a player. So, but I think I try my best to keep open communication. I try to be there for the girls if they need me. I think we all have really positive relationships with each other, which helps. And we do more than just play together in the gym. Like we constantly plan things for outside of the gym. We, have swim together. We tie-dye shirts together. We go on little adventures. So it's really fun to get to do that with them.
Yeah, perfect segue into the next question on building team chemistry, and chemistry is so important in a volleyball team. What other kind of things have you guys been doing to make sure chemistry is as strong as possible?
Yeah, so again, I think us doing that team bonding outside of those things it helps us tremendously. They get to know each other in a different way on another level than just in the gym, because a lot of times in the gym, it's serious, it's more focused. You don't have as much time for that to get to know someone. So it helps us a lot. And we like to just do fun things, anything. We played slip and slide kickball the other week, and it was really fun.
This is actually one of my favorite questions to ask for former player turned coaches. So I'll ask it you too, because it's so fresh in the mind. What would Kacey Costal, the coach, tell Kacey Costal, the player?
Oh goodness, this one's kind of hard. I still think this, and I feel like I would tell myself just listen more. I feel like there's times where I'm like, man, I wish I would have listened a little bit more to these coaches that I had, because I feel like I could have improved a lot more. And it's like you just kind of go through the motions when you're a player sometimes. And I would have told myself, really listen to what they're saying to you, because it's important and it helps.
Now, take us through a average Salem volleyball practice, and what kind of things that you guys do in your practice time, and what a Kacey Costal practice looks like.
So typically we'll do lifting in the morning. We do that 2 days a week now. So we do lifting for an hour. Then we'll get to practice. We'll do some conditioning, agility for about 30, 40 minutes. And then we'll get into a lot of our drill time. I'm big on ball control, because ball control requires communication, and that is so important to me. I'm the type of player that never stops talking while on the court. And I see how that can help. So I always want to do drills like that. I try to get a little bit of each skill into each practice if I can, or stretch it across 2 practices. We're constantly working on serve, receive, hitting. We like to do positional practices too. We work with just our setters, just our passers, and just our hitters, and it really helps us. Then we come back together, things connect a lot better.
Now, you said that you itch to get back on there when you're on the sidelines, so I got to in practice. Are you still lacing up a little bit? Are you still taking some swings against your team, or have you officially retired from volleyball?
Oh, no. I don't plan to retire anytime soon. Definitely. If we start, a lot of times we start at the beginning and play 4-on-4 queens. I'm always out there playing if I can.
Some may say too, coaching, being a newer coach in a sport is kind of a disadvantage. But talk to me a little bit about what gives Kacey Costal that coaching edge in each matchup that she's in.
Yeah, I know. I have heard people say it can be a disadvantage to be new and to be young, but I just came out of it. I just came out of college playing, and I know I had a lot of experience with drills, different things. I know the rules up to date in that way. I feel like I know a little bit better in how to relate to the girls. I remember exactly what it's like to be in their shoes, because it wasn't that long ago. It was me. So I feel like I can relate to them in that way.
Give us some examples of some college drills that you took from your playing days that maybe you don't see a lot in high school that you kind of implemented in your practices here at the high school level.
Yeah, we have a lot of drills that I've taken from that, which I really like to do. There's a ball control one that I like, and it requires a lot of communication. They're passing a ball cross as the other side is passing a ball cross, and then I'll yell at switch, and then they have to both pass line at the same time. So it requires them to stop what they're doing, call out someone's name, and get the ball to where it needs to be. So it really gets them to think, which I love. A lot of gameplay, which I like, that I've gotten a lot of different like 6-on-6 games that I've gotten from college, which just adds to it and makes them more focused on where the ball needs to go rather than just getting it over. Where do you want this ball to go? And emphasizes that.
There's no doubt we think you're a great coach for the job at Salem, but talk to me a little bit, being a player there and now being a coach, the passion and how deeply ingrained Salem volleyball is with the community, how much it would mean to the Salem community for the volleyball team to bring back some hardware come end of the season.
Yeah, it means a lot to be back, and I'm really excited, and I am new, but I'm looking for ways to get the community more involved. I really want us to be able to do more like service projects around town and make those relationships, and then those to be reciprocated, and them be able to come to games, and the girls to actually have a relationship with people outside of our immediate circle.
After every season, coaches take in an evaluation and kind of what they did well last year, what they need to improve on. What are some of the things that you want this program to take the next step in or improve on in 2021 compared to last season?
I think I really want to improve on our competitiveness and intensity. I think taking that from last year, it was hard because I was still trying to find my voice as a coach, and I really want us to be more intense and more competitive, and I want to be able to inspire them a little bit more with my passion for volleyball.
I think the Marlington Dukes were a thorn in a lot of people's side in volleyball last year. Talk to me a little bit about how you plan on being competitive against the Dukes and overcoming them this year.
Yeah, they're definitely always our tough competition, our top competition. We watch film. We try to, as our coaching team, we try to evaluate it and look at our film either when we play them or we get it from someone else that's played them before. We'll look at our last year's film, and that's a good way for us to practice and just talk about those things. What do they do, and what are their strong points, and what are their weak points that we can emphasize on? So we're hoping to get that going, and sometimes it's just about who's the louder team out there, who wants it more.
We definitely look forward to that matchup. What are some other matchups on your schedule that Salem fans should circle as must-see opportunities to watch your team?
West Branch is always a big one. That's our rivals, and they always will be no matter what their team is like. So the girls, they're usually especially hype for that game. So it's it's an exciting game, and they feel the exact same way as us, West Branch. So that's always, they bring it, we bring it that day. A lot of energy comes into that game. So that's always a good one and a fun one to see.
Pretty simple question for my last question for you, Coach, but it's one you could do as little or as much as you want with it. Being a new coach, being in the program, and I mean coaching a sport that you loved and you've played for the community for years, just talk to me about what is some of your favorite things about coaching, and not only just coaching volleyball, but coaching Salem volleyball.
Oh my goodness. I have a lot of things, but I would have to say, I mean, I just like being back to where I was. It's really cool to see it from a different perspective. And like going in, I barely knew any of them. I knew a couple of their siblings, but none of them very personally. So it was really interesting to see different girls and those families. And I think, honestly, my favorite part of coaching is just making the relationship with the girls. I love to be around them. and I love to see them develop. It's such a fun part, and I'm really excited to add up the years and like see the freshmen who I came in with, and when they're seniors, I'm really excited to see that and the progress that they've made. It'll be really cool to see. And just from last year, we've seen a lot too, and girls coming up have made a lot of progress. They've found their voices. I think that's definitely my favorite part about coaching, and just being back in the community is cool.
And then my final question is, second year as a coach, and you're trying to build a program, and obviously building a program, the youth is so important, and what they do before high school, before they get to you, is so important. What kind of things have you been doing? Have you been trying to implement to develop the youth in Salem Volleyball and to try to get them as ready as possible before they end up being freshmen and are with you?
Yeah, we did. I mean, we have really great coaching staff for junior high, Josie Miller and Anna Rocha. So they're really good at making relationships with the girls too. They make it fun for them and they make it worthwhile. So it's good to have a good coaching staff then, because it draws more people to your team. And we did a lot of work this past winter. I mean, we didn't even have a month break before we started open gyms. We were in the gym and we had a lot of sixth graders incoming, because that was something they could do before the season started to prep them and prepare them for coming in and trying out for our team. And we're excited too, because we're going to probably go to the middle school, and I'm going to take my girls and we're going to talk to them about volleyball, and we're thinking that'll promote us even more and it'll make more girls want to come out.
Fantastic idea to interact both teams and let the junior high kids that know that the varsity level cares about them and they're supporting them. I think it's a great idea. Coach, thank you so much for joining us today. It was great to hear from you. Great to hear a little bit of a preview of what Salem Volleyball is going to bring this year. We look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you so much for having me.